This is Served with me, Andy Roddick. Please hit subscribe. We drop new episodes every week.
What you're saying is the number 2 ranked player in the world holds 3 of the 4 majors.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because of math.
Yeah.
Yeah. Math.
And he's 7-3. He's 7-3 over the last couple seasons against the world number 1.
Great. So
Jannik Sinner.
Okay, so I know where you're going with the couple of seasons thing, and I just want to stop that shit right now because the rankings are only based on 1 year. So the matches he won 2 years ago, they don't matter.
Okay.
For the ranking. They don't matter at all for the ranking. It's a 52-week ranking.
But it's a rolling 52-week ranking, right?
It's 52 weeks. Any day of any week, it is 52 weeks. So next week it'll be 52 weeks. 2 weeks ago is 52 weeks. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has some 3,000 plus points that he's defending up through Roland Garros.
It just means that, okay, this is going to be very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Of the tournaments that are outside of slams, Alcaraz has lost some. Sinner has barely lost at all. That's it.
I mean, you said it. You're right. You said Sinner. You said Carlos wins slams and Sinner wins everything else.
That was the quote that got drawn out. It was more like since the U.S. Open last year, that's kind of what has happened.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, Sinner's won 4. I mean, he's got his own slam count going. So that's a. I know that's the quote that got run with, but that's not the intent of the quote. But just for fans at home that are, well, I don't understand. Winning Monte Carlo is worth half of a slam. All right? Winning Monte Carlo is worth half of a slam. So when you win all of the half slams, they can make up for full slams. Mm-hmm. Any more brain busters, Mike?
Well, I think for me it's about movement, right? Like resetting that. One thing Sean and I have kicked around is like, what if you end of year number 1, end of year number 2, they all get an allotted amount of points, and then that's how they start the year, and it's not about defending events, right? Because Sinner didn't have any points to defend because he didn't play in the events last year.
Okay, you're basically.
I'm just asking.
We're just proving why that all of us talking heads always say the year-end number 1 is the biggest thing.
Yeah,
getting to it, touching the peak one time is number 1. I honestly can tell you. Like, if you gave Carlos the chance, would you rather be number 1 or number 2? Number 1. Would you rather have 3 slams and be ranked number 2 or 1 slam in the last calendar year and be ranked number 1? You would want the 3 slams. Mm-hmm. These guys have both been there. They've both finished there. Week to week, I know people aren't going to like this. I don't think they give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters. I think it's the 5th on their priority list. Because
in his mind, he's like, I'm going to go to work, maybe get a calendar slam, and get it back.
He's already written off 3 months that he was out last year. This was going to be the time that Sinner flipped it if he flipped it. And he could only flip it if he won everything.
And he could flip back this
which he has won. I mean, it's Sinner is in a good spot to flip it through Wimbledon. Mm-hmm. It just based on a 52-week ranking. Year end, number 1 matters the most. The rest of it, you got to give credit to what people did last year. You have to give some credit. I don't think we have to reinvent the wheel. If you want current up to date, they also have the race. The ATP releases the race to Turin, right? That's a more accurate reading of momentum, maybe.
You want 2 dirty inside tennis secrets? One of them, the biggest fight I think Federer and Nadal ever had, or one of their few disputes, was when Rafa and his camp was trying to lobby for a 2-year rolling ranking. Whether that was because of injuries or whether that was because there were additional points. But I think the other dirty, I mean, it is a little confusing to Mike's point, I think, for the casual fan of like, well, wait a second, he got to the final. Why would his ranking? I mean, we see that all the time, right? I mean, you go look at the rankings today and you'll see arrows and green. You're like, wait a second, that guy lost in the second round. How could his ranking go up? The other thing about a rolling ranking is that with 52 weeks, it encourages players to re-enter the tournament they won the previous year. So it's a nice way for tournaments to make sure the defending champions don't beg off and they can build a little brand equity. But no, I mean, I think the rankings can confuse casual fans, but I think overall it's fair. Yes, there's some counterintuitive results sometimes. And I think Andy raises a good point too, that when you look at why Pete Sampras finished the year-end ranking number 1 6 years in a row. I think that's a totally underrated
100%
record of his.
Crazy.
Because it's wire to wire. And there are all sorts of flukes and, Sinner didn't play Madrid last year, so he's basically defending nothing. So his ranking, he doesn't have to win the tournament. His ranking is going to go up. It's a little confusing to casual fans. The 1,000 events are also named because 1,000 points are what you get for winning it. I think tennis could do a better job of explaining, but I think on balance, don't you think it's? I can't imagine a better system overall. Don't you think?
Yeah, I understand that it's like a tiebreaker. I mean, okay, there's like you take NBA records. Why do they get seeded higher? Because they won a weaker division. I don't know. You have to, at some point you got to like do the best. And I can't think of like a better version. Like I would be pissed if all of a sudden like everyone started at neutral and then someone had like a fluke result in Australia. I'm like, I'm seated behind that guy. This fucking chucker who like had 3 good weeks like in Brisbane and Melbourne.
Vashro would have been ranked like 4.
Yeah, yeah. You know, so the 52-week ranking works. I know it's confusing and requires like 8 seconds of thought for yourselves, but it works. I don't think it's broken.
I'm with Mike here. It's a totally fair question.
Yeah, it's a fair question, and it's a very simple answer, I think. And maybe it's just because I grew up in tennis. I don't know. Takeshiro, you're not from like tennis universe. Like, do you not like it?
It just takes a lot more to understand the stakes of a tournament when these moments where they're trying to defend point, like to the point of why did Alcaraz lose points by making it to the final? As a casual fan that didn't grow up with it, that makes no sense. Mm-hmm. And in order to have to understand, I have to have a conversation. Whereas if we're trying to get people to watch more tennis, making the stakes of a tournament understandable feels like an obstacle.
Well, then whoever wins the most recent tournament should just be the highest ranked person?
No, not that.
No, but they get points.
We were saying like maybe the alternative is you start the year with an allotment of points because you've earned it the previous year. But then it's not based on you having to play that event.
Oh,
right?
Good. So Alcaraz and Sinner have a jump start on the field at the beginning of every year?
Well, that's what they already do. They already do.
Because it's earned, not given.
Because it's earned.
Yeah.
Right?
What I'm saying is like, points away.
What I'm saying is like, so you're not playing a tournament and you're not making the semifinals and you're getting punished for it. That is a bit confusing.
You're not getting punished. You're not getting, I never felt punished for like not doing my job to do as well as I did the year before.
Yeah.
If I didn't do as well as the year before, it makes sense to me that I wouldn't be ranked the same. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I grew up in tennis, but
that's a good point.
I don't know.
That's a good point.
I'm open to it. I don't like the stockpile. Like it's like we're talking about. It's like the reason we don't like it is because it's complicated. But then we're going to add another layer at the beginning of the year, and when do those fall off? Like I feel like we're adding steps to address a problem that's complicated by making it more complicated.
At least we're not going to have the media pick who's ranked.
Fuck yeah, that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother thing. I actually think. But side note, we've spent a lot of time on Sinner. I think this is a good week for Alcaraz. I think coming off of Indian Wells, Miami, where any tournament he doesn't win is probably like less than, especially if he's not making it to the finals and not losing to Sinner. I got to think the only person he can even stomach a little bit or shoot a video of them jumping into a swimming pool after losing to them is probably Sinner. I think this was a good reset for him. A good reset week. I think Madrid is a great tournament for him. The ball jumps everywhere. It'd be a home tournament. He was hurt. We forget that too. Like this is good for.
He's playing. He's playing this week too, I believe. He's entering Barcelona.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Well, I'm sure that didn't come cheap. Your home country's one of the few events in your home country. I don't know about that, but
these are the decisions. I'll just say it. Like these are the decisions where coaches have a say sometimes, right? If it's Monte Carlo, should we go to Barcelona? You played a lot. Like, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. What you want is just people being healthy. These two, I don't, you have the third ranked guy who's kind of, outside of Novak and his greatness, still having kind of his shadow and imprint over this, where you have to include him in every conversation, even if we don't see him for a couple of months. You have the number 3 player in the world going, I don't know what to do, and so then it makes it easier for us to say, I don't know what they should do. I don't know. But listen, greatness is right in front of us. And it's interesting. It's like you see Sinner and Alcaraz go the same week that Rory goes, the same week. It's like you can always kind of make the shadow a little bit smaller of the people that came before you, step by step.